A common ancestor was discovered that was baptized like Ardi. Experts determined that it lived about 6 million years ago, and that's a common ancestor between the human being and the chimpanzee. This has similarities to the chimpanzee and to the human beings. The Australopithecus was a species of genus have lived in Africa for a little over 4 million years until about 2 million years ago. The biggest novelty of Australopithecus is that they were bipedal. The size of his brain was similar to today's great apes. They live in tropical areas of Africa, eating fruits and leaves.
Homo habilis is one of the oldest species of the genus Homo. It lived in the African region between 1.9 and 1.6 million years ago, in the time of Pleistocene. The discovery of its fossils took place between 1962 and 1964. An increase in brain size compared to Australopithecus was one of the main aspects to be considered in determining that Homo habilis was a different species. For some experts, however, Homo habilis could be considered a species of Australopithecus.
Homo erectus is an extinct hominid, ancestor of Homo sapiens. This species began to inhabit the Earth about 1,800,000 years ago and became extinct about 130,000 years ago. Homo erectus remains have been found in Africa as well as in Europe and Asia, including the southeastern island of the later continent. Homo erectus means human walking erect. It's thought that at first these hominids were collectors of food, but later began to feed on animals that were already there, constituting finally hunting and gathering trips. In these trips, the men went out to look for large animals while the women remained tending the boys and collecting fruits, leaves, and vegetables to eat. Homo erectus was able to develop tools such as a stick, which aid him in hunting, and fire, which allowed him to stay warm in cold places and cook his food. Another way to the Homo erectus kept warm was by wearing clothes. At first, he discovered that he could put animal skins on top of them and then began to sew them using leather strips.
The Homo neanderthalis, or more rarely Neanderthals, were a species of subspecies of archaic human in the genus Homo that went extinct about 40 years ago. Neanderthals and modern humans share 99% of the with actual humans and 98% with the closest non-human living relatives, that is, the chimpanzee. They lived in Eurasia from Western Europe to Central and Northern Asia, that actually would be Central Europe and West Asia. Compared to the Homo sapiens, the Neanderthals had a lower surface to volume ratio, with shorter legs and bigger body. This is because where they lived in higher places, they had higher pressures, so their body wouldn't grow as the Homo sapiens. They were able to create tools with bones or wood, like axes, jaws, tags, all of these with bones, and these tools they use it to create clothes or things to hand. They coexisted with the Homo sapiens, but the Homo sapiens could continue living and the Homo neanderthalis got extincted.
Homo sapiens is a primate species belonging to the family of hominids. Homo sapiens are unquestionably considered to be those who possess both the anatomical features of present-day human population and what they are defined as modern behavior. 70 million years ago, among mammals, different types of monkeys called primates were developed. The first primates were of small size, nocturnal and arboreal habits, but they were evolving until arriving at obtaining anatomical characteristics that altogether allow to identify them. With a larger cranial volume, a higher forehead as they lacked a supraorbital arch, short jaw, small teeth, and pronounced chin, the appearance of the new hominid was totally different from that of their ancestors and relatives. He already possesses a great capacity for the association of ideas and for speech, derived from his cranial architecture, and this undoubtedly gave him an advantage in comparison with the archaic species of Homo sapiens with which he came to live and on which genetically it ended up prevailing.
The Homo sapiens sapiens, also known as the actual human, is all over the world, and it is dated since 160,000 years ago. They haven't changed a lot physically, but the most changes in this subspecies of human is that in the last thousands of years have changed a lot their mentality and the ability to create tools with their hands, and they create tools that create bigger tools as the computers that we have nowadays and all the media that the humans have created to survive and to provide a better life in all the world. This is also the evolution, but not the physical evolution of the human, whether is the intellectual evolution of it, and it is constantly changing, and maybe we will talk about different species in the next thousands of years of humans.
Raymond, así a lo mejor.
Que puede ser
¡Casquet volador! ¡El
¡Borrocóptero!
este pavo.
Estamos grabando, vamos a piensa piel.
Estamos ready.
Un selfie, chaval.
Un selfie. De España, chavales.
Que esto va,
Siempre arriba, siempre arriba, compadre.